we have Angel Has Fallen, Larry, from director Rick Roman, starring Gerard Butler, Frederick Schmidt, Danny Hudson, and a whole load of good characters. This movie's about the Secret Service agent is back. Mike Banning is framed for an attempted assassination on the president himself. And he must not only evade his own agency in the FBI, but he's got to actually solve the entire murder plot and stop these evil people from doing whatever the hell they're doing. Does that sum it up for you?
That's pretty much nails it.
That's it. And that's it. Good night, everybody.
But you know what? It was another one. We saw 2 movies tonight, this and Ready or Not. So if you haven't checked our Ready or Not review, check that one out.
Yes.
But this was 2 movies tonight, both I really enjoyed.
Yeah, we had a really fun time with this one too, but in a different way.
Yes.
It wasn't like the first one where it was like the cabin in the woods kind of fun and laughter. This was serious. This wasn't like the Harrison Ford Fugitive where it was like a lot of running and a lot of mystery and searching. This was Bannon going head to head against the people, like killing and taking them on and trying to get the bad guys. That's what I love. There was no pausing in this. I mean, it was a lot of action.
This movie starts.
Yeah.
And it starts with action. I mean, that kind of shocked me the way this movie started. Because I was like, really? I mean, we're getting to here already.
Well, it's a testament to like FBI, CIA, all of them have these training centers that prepare them for like urban operations, things like that.
I don't know. Do they have training centers that actually have like helicopters that come in?
Absolutely.
With paintball guns?
Dude, they go all out. They have tanks, planes, helicopters, all kinds of stuff sometimes. Yeah. So they go all out with these military
But the movie
drills.
starts off quick.
It's great.
And it stays that way the whole movie.
Yeah.
The only thing I really had a problem with in this movie was just the shots. Whoever's doing the cinematography, man.
Yeah.
This is very shaky cam.
Let's get the negatives out of the way.
Yeah, there's not a lot of negatives, so I'm just going to get right to it and say what they are. The shaky cam and the editing team.
Yeah.
There's so many close-ups and there's so many shaky shots that it kind of was starting to give me a little headache there for a little bit.
It did feel like we had a lot of people that wanted to do their own thing. We had a lot of writers and a lot of people involved with the screenplay and design. I think, though, the action was a little too... They tried to go over the top. When it comes to the camera work, their camera work was crazy. Like Larry said, it would be like a close-up of Larry's face, close-up of me, close-up of Larry, and then there would be an explosion, and then the camera would just do this.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa. And after a while, I started noticing it. Whenever they'd have a period of tension, they'd jack up this music in the background, which the music was okay. It was kind of generic.
Start shaky cam.
It was like Die Hard music, just on repeat. But then they would do this every time there was like a scene with some driving or some tension or someone coming down the hallway. They would just get right up in their grill, like right up in their face the whole time. Yeah. And it drove me nuts after a while.
In the face and shake. That's the only way I can tell you this. And some of the effects are really good in this movie. I'll say that. And some of them are really bad. We're just going to say...
Cracking up bad.
And sometimes they would have these back to back. There's one part in the movie where a building just collapses.
Levels. Just levels a building.
And all of a sudden they cut over to Gerard Butler, Morgan Freeman, and they're running away, and it's totally green screen.
They're coming through a door, and it looks so cheesy and so bad. It reminds you of something from the 70s.
And here's the thing is... It did make me laugh. So I can't complain about it.
We both looked at each other immediately and laughed.
You know, I can't totally complain because I kind of knew what we were getting involved when we went and seen this movie.
They have scenes where there's drone strikes and there's really just intense... The explosions and the practicals and the massive death count in this really shocked me. I mean, I thought the death count in the first two were pretty heavy, especially when they're attacking the White House and you got the terrorists that were shooting missiles at police and all that. But this was like...
Yeah, those drones were... definitely top-notch equipment. I mean, kamikaze drones.
You see it in the trailer, but you don't really get a good feel for it. It's a long battle, and it's a lot of death, and these drones are insane, which kind of bothers me that they didn't use them again, which is a spoiler, but they don't ever show
Like I said, though, they're kamikaze drones. They literally fly in.
They should have used those
just, boom,
throughout the whole movie.
Oh.
That'd have been terrifying.
Why not? I mean, that would have did the job right there.
My other negative is I can tell there's a lot of writers, because there's some scenes that the writing doesn't exactly meet the quality of other scenes. Like there'll be some father-son. I mean, one of the little things in this is Gerard meets up with his dad, and there are some father-son scenes with Nick Nolte.
And you know what? I gotta talk about Nick Nolte real quick.
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
Because
go right ahead.
When it gets there, he basically saves this movie for me. He was my number one thing about this movie that I liked. Nick Nolte, an Angel Has Fallen, given an Oscar-worthy performance. I was like, how did this come from?
It comes out of nowhere, and he's really good because he's like this disgruntled, anti-government Vietnam vet that's really haggard and depressed. And he lives on his own, no electricity, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And he comes in and just saves the day, and I love it. It was fantastic.
I love that whole sequence of events.
Yes,
when they're getting attacked, it was just great.
Yeah, I could have seen more of that easily, and he should have been in more of the movie. That's one downfall, is he wasn't.
There's two things I would have liked seeing. I would have liked seeing more of Nick Nolte and more of Morgan Freeman.
Yep.
I thought going to this movie that Morgan Freeman was going to be along for the ride. He's mostly in a coma the whole movie.
I mean, the negative with the story thing though was sometimes you'd have characters talking to each other, and then it just wouldn't fit with the rest of the tone and pacing. It's like they had a lot of the writers in this, and like too many cooks in the kitchen.
Now that's one thing I'd say
like.
Good.
Yeah,
is I thought the pacing was real good.
Pacing was great.
I mean, I don't know how long it was. Did not seem that long. It was fast paced all the way through.
If we had a lot of
starts with an action sequence, and stay after.
Yeah.
That's something.
Stay after. Stay after
for the
end credits. There's a little hidden after credit.
I was thinking all the way to the end. There's a little hidden after credit.
Yeah, it's worth it.
It's funny. We almost walked out on it, but we came back, and I'm glad we did.
Who knew?
Yeah. Angel Has Fallen with a Marvel-like after sequence. It was great.
And that's another thing. There's a lot of good in this. So now that we got some of the negatives out of the way, positives are great acting. You had Gerard Butler putting on a hell of a good show. I thought one of his best. I don't know how people... There's a disconnect from hell going on between the fans of this. Got a 95% right now. And the critics... I don't know what the hell is wrong with these critics, but 40%?
Yeah, I don't see that.
It's not even close. I mean, this is a lot of fun. It's a great action movie, a call back to some of the best old ones.
Yep, and that's what Gerard Butler does best.
It gives you a taste of The Fugitive. It gives you a taste of Die Hard. I mean, it's got a lot of moments that really hit you. The bullets and gunshots in this are incredible. They feel real. Like when he's shooting, you can hear the bullets going by, and when they get struck in the chest, you actually feel it.
Yeah,
you know?
But it's funny you mentioned Die Hard, because there was a few moments in there, a few scenes, I was like, this is like Die Hard, when he dresses up like the cop and everything.
Yep. He changed outfits. He did that, like just in like Die Hard or any of the movies. He changed outfits, tried to blend in. He was using his counterterrorism training.
Exactly.
And he was a badass. He was doing great. The martial arts, the action scenes with him, and the gunplay, some of it was as good as John Wick. I know you can't say that shit. I'm sorry, John Wick. But he was as good with...
I personally won't put it up there with John Wick.
It was close.
But it was pretty good.
Yeah, that's saying a lot for Gerard Butler, who's probably 70.
A new age has begun.
Fire.
So he's 50. So he's 50. Sorry.
Yeah.
Gerard Butler.
What'd you say? He was 69?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So he did great though. His accent, the way he did his character, his wife and kid were in this, they were great too. I really enjoyed the girl from Coyote Ugly.
Yeah,
she should have been in more of it. She was really good. So I mean, and the President of the United States, Morgan Freeman, fantastic.
Sometimes you get those actors; they have that voice.
Bruce, I'm God.
And that's all they
He was in this isn't a spoiler, it's in the trailer. He was in a coma. And during the half the movie when he's in that coma, I felt so bad. I was like, oh please, Morgan Freeman, you have to survive.
Yeah. And that's one thing I did want to see though. I told him I would have loved a scene with Morgan Freeman, Nick Nolte, and Gerard Butler.
All fighting together.
I wish they could have did that.
Take it out terrorists.
What they went with was perfectly fine. I know you can't... Yeah. I'm pretty sure that Morgan Freeman didn't want to do a real long movie here.
That was crazy.
He's getting a little older.
That's what's so weird. It felt more grounded. Even though it was crazier action and bigger, it felt more grounded than some of the other ones.
Well, it felt real grounded. I mean, think about that truck scene.
Yeah.
You know,
There were so many scenes.
There was a lot of scenes, a lot of action scenes in this movie. I mean, it's one after another.
The driving, there are, good. Aside from the camera shit, the driving scenes where they're chasing him are some of the best. I mean, they're really good. I don't know why the critics were so hard on this. I'm going to have to research and see what they didn't like. Yeah. I know it's going to have something to do with the way it was told, the storyline.
I think what they're going to tell you is shaky cam.
They're going to say a lot of that.
Back and forth.
Yep.
You know, it's a little convoluted here at times, but, you know, it's what I expected going in. I did not expect a smart movie or a movie that Gerard Butler was going to try to give an Oscar-winning performance. Of course, at the same time, wasn't that expecting Nick Nolte to give an Oscar-winning performance.
No, everyone was doing a really good job.
But I was expecting just a silly, cheesy, fun movie, action movie, call back to the 90s.
They had a neat little subplot of a rogue government agent or person that was trying to take over, blame Russia. There was some political stuff involved, but it wasn't heavy. They were trying to blame Russia for this attack, and all these different things were happening. It was a little bit of intrigue and a little mystery. But the thing is, and this goes back to some of the stuff we didn't like, I kind of knew who the bad guys were.
Yes.
And me and you both knew.
That's part of the story.
Yeah.
Is that you're going to know pretty much what's going to happen.
It's very generic when it comes to the storyline. Yeah. And the bad guy, you're going to know immediately. Yeah. You're going to be like, oh, that's the bad guy.
The first thing was I was like, he's the bad guy?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. That one's in charge of the bad guy.
You knew who the secret bad guys in the government were. There was a few little twists and turns with the FBI, but other than that, you knew.
There is some funny parts in here, too, like, that's just so cliche.
Yes.
When they're doing the voice, where they're changing the voice of the actual guy behind everything, I was just sitting there laughing.
You were like, you knew who it was.
But you know what? It was a good laugh. I liked it.
Even with the voice change, you knew who it was because you already saw the actor. So it's just one of those things where they gave a little too much away, and I'd have liked it better if it wasn't so cliche. They had the fight of the bad guys getting up to the roof and taking a helicopter away, and they had like all those scenes. So they had a lot of cliched scenes from other movies. But you know what's crazy? I still had a really good time.
Yeah, that's the thing. I still had fun with the movie. I mean,
I felt bad when people died.
I mean, we can sit there and pick on it because when you really do think about it, you can come up with lots of things.
Sure.
But when you're just sitting back in your chair and you're relaxing, you're going,
think about
I like it.
Mad Max Fury Road. You could nitpick that damn movie into the ground. You could say, oh, it's not realistic. Oh, where did they get these trucks from? And oh, blah, blah, blah. But it was a great, fun action movie. You know, and that's what I had fun with this.
Yeah, it's just a fun action movie.
Fuck you, critics.
Exactly.
That's right from me and Larry. You can write to us at this address.
No, I mean, to me, if I'm going to score this, because I think I've said enough about this one.
Me too.
I'm going to go ahead and give this one probably a B-.
Okay, good. Because that's about where I'm sitting. I'm also, I think if I had to get this score, I really had a good time. It was well worth the money, and I would see it again. I think just to see stuff I missed.
Yeah, I don't think I would go back to the theater to pay for it.
No.
Definitely when it comes
out, worth it, though.
It's worth renting. I'll probably watch it again that way.
Yeah, I would also say this would be a B- in my book.
Good deal.
So, guys, thank you again for joining us. We highly recommend these two movies. So, Ready or Not and Angel Has Fallen, both are excellent movies. We highly recommend both and hope you go see them. And make sure to like, comment, and share. We're almost up to, 700?
We're 12 away. Last time I looked, we were 688.
And we have 2,000 people almost on Facebook. Yes. And I appreciate the well wishes. I promise that I will stop sweating like a hog and I will feel better very soon. I'm really, really not feeling good. So I'll be back to normal hopefully in no time.
It looks like me when I film in my basement. My basement's like 80 degrees all the time.
Yes.
So I sweat.
My kids just started school again, and they brought something home. And it was such a lovely gift. Anyway, thanks, everybody. We appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.